Get your book, get your book, get your book. Right, get your book, man, get your book, man, get your book, man. So whilst I was wrapping up them books, I was listening to one old school Peckham tune. Utes from my generation. Anteater GMG, Stigs, CS, M1, Tiny Snap, and a few others. And I had a thought. And for once, something actually made me a little bit sad. Growing up poor was not the one, you know. So if any of you lot have been watching me for long enough, you lot would have heard me talk about times during my summer holidays when man was 11 years old, transitioning from year 6 to year 7, walking around with nothing but 50 pence in my pocket. And I remember when I was in year 7 and year 8, the older generation to me, so these men will be currently 37 to 40 years old, yeah? Let's say like people like Terminator from Edmonton, yeah? That generation there, them man they were called Camp. That's just the name of their crew, yeah? So there was a Tracksuit, and there used to be this shop, like a sports shop in Enfield Retail Park. So if you go to Enfield Retail Park now, it's known as, was it Sports Direct? It used to be called Soccer Sports. It's the same thing, they just changed the name. So if you know where the Enfield Retail Park is, they've even got like a Nando's there. It's near the Krispy Kreme and that. There's a Sports Direct there now, but it used to be a shop called Soccer Sports. There was a Tracksuit, and everyone called it the Camp Tracksuit. I beg you lot, press 1. Comment down below if you know what I'm talking about, if you're from Edmonton and you're from my generation. Even maybe some Tottenham youths, yeah, Tottenham youths would know about the Camp Tracksuit. It was a Diodora Camp Tracksuit. Yeah? So it was just a little cheap Diodora tracksuit, and then man, they called it the Camp Tracksuit. And I remember that tracksuit was going for £13, you know. 13. 1-3. Not 3-0, you know, 1-3. And I remember my mum couldn't even buy it for me. Imagine that. I don't business if it's what? When I was 11 years old, that's how you know man's old, you know. When I was 11 years old, we're talking like 2004. I don't business if it was 2004, and obviously, you know, £13 back then was probably like £30 now. Yeah, let's say with inflation and that. Imagine your mum can't afford to buy you a £30 or if not a £13 tracksuit. This is how old I am, yeah? I remember before in year 7 as well. Like these old school trainers. So basically, you know, you got Huaraches now, yeah? There was some old school Huaraches. They came back in like when I was in year 7. So they came back out in like 2004, let's say. Now, I thought they were new. My mum's like, I spoke about them to my mum. She was like, nah, man, them trainers have been around from day, Huaraches. Now, let's say they might have gone by a different name, but when my mum had seen the trainers, maybe we saw someone walking with them. My mum said that she remembers them from back in the day and that. Like every now and then, they'll bring back some old school trainers. Again, everyone was rocking the Huaraches to school. There were 2 pairs that everyone had. You either had the blue and yellow pair, or you had the grey and the red pair. Again, I beg you lot, if any of you lot from my generation, yeah, I beg you lot put down in the chat, in the comment section, if you remember what I'm talking about. There was a blue and yellow pair of Huaraches, the one with the strap, and another pair, different variation, grey and red pair of Huaraches, same again with the strap. Mom, you think my mum could buy me them trainers? Oh, there's a lot of stuff that man missed out on when I was a youth. But now, obviously, it doesn't matter now. You understand? It don't matter now because I'm a big man and you cares. Like, no one gives a fuck right now who was the most popular person in school. You understand? But still, at the time, man, it's not even about peer pressure and that. It's like, yo, imagine feeling like left out, or you understand? Because like you're one of the broke kids. Like you can't afford to get the latest trainers and that. This is why, yeah, I grind hard and that. And don't get it twisted, my children, they're not gonna be some followers and that. You understand? They ain't, just because this is in fashion, I'm gonna get my kid that. Because that's not me now. I can afford anything. I can afford anything that any of you lot have got. Whatever, don't matter. Whatever tracksuit, whatever Dior, £800 trainers, whatever. If you got that, I can afford that. And I'm still not into that. But, you know, you at least want to be in a position where, you know, you can opt out of certain fashions. Yeah? Not be excluded by default because your mum is broke. Or you come from a broke family. So yeah, growing up poor was not the one, boy. When you grow up poor, you get left out of certain fashions. Like I said, I don't business about fashion. I was never into it, but obviously, like if a nice pair of trainers come out, I want to get them, innit? Like I said, I was never into fashion like that, and I still am not. I could be a millionaire. I don't care. You will never find me, even if I'm a millionaire. Even if I got £1 million in cash, you will not see me walking around with a pair of Balmain jeans. I just don't care. I just don't care. But yeah, man, growing up poor is not the one, man. If you grow up poor, you are by default excluded from certain fashions and that. And then this is what leads children to do things that they're not supposed to be doing. Like, was it Jar Jar Souls and that, poverty-driven children, PDC? Yeah, that is a real thing, boy. No joke. Man will actually go out and commit crimes and that just so they can get the latest stuff. Yeah, man, that's it for today, man. Stay wise. Tone.